This is a time for dreams, not fears. That's what I'm going to talk about today in Time with Tim. Now, at this time of the week, back end of the week, when I'm doing a daily broadcast, what I typically do is talk about a method or a practice that I've adopted that I've found has helped me be well to lead well. And what I've really been struggling with this week is sleep. Sleep's a constant sort of battle for me. I'm a light sleeper. I tend to sort of carry a lot of my, sort of cognitive overload into my sleep and wake up in the middle of the night and need to come into the, sort of the office and write things down or scribble on a notebook. I try and avoid using a phone or even an iPad, during the night. It just stimulates me. But there's something I found has been really pronounced during this week, and with a lot of the sort of the constant shifting of restrictions and changing of priorities, as we move through, this very uncertain time. And that has been that if I go anywhere near any kind of update on the current situation in the sort of hour to half an hour before I try and go to sleep, everything that comes out of my brain, during the night is driven by fear. And what I've tried to do is to change that. And, before I go to bed, to give myself permission to dream. And when I say that, I'm really referring to be optimistic, to think about things which are maybe more aspirational, something that I really would like to do. And if I could for a moment just sort of quieten down all of the very necessary noise about what we're enduring at the moment, and I can think about something that I'd really like to do. Well, what I find is that, what comes out then, through the evening and through the night, might still be some interrupted sleep, but it has a much more positive sentiment. Ultimately, it's something that I find more beneficial. And I'll share with you, if you allow me, what I'm thinking about is a podcast that I've been wanting to do for years. It's been this burning flame that I haven't been able to extinguish. And I wake up, by thinking about that right before I go to bed, I wake up with ideas for, who I'd like to invite to be a guest on the show, or, how I might structure the show, or I actually dream about the show itself. Now you may find that silly, but for me, this is a real, sort of passion and purpose play, something that I think will be really, really beneficial, for the audience of leaders who want to make the world better, that the podcast is for. And I found that thinking about that and dreaming about that leaves me more rested when I wake in the morning. And that in comparison to loading up with information and inducing an increased state of anxiety and fear before I go to bed, well, surprise, surprise, cortisol goes up, serotonin goes down. I can't convert serotonin to melatonin. I can't go to sleep. And I lie there at night, very anxious and very worried, and not getting the rest that I need in order to turn up and be, purposeful and principle focused and perseverant the next day, as I mentioned earlier in the week. So give that a go. Give yourself permission to have some nice aspirational thoughts before you go to bed. Let's not deny what's going on, and that this is a very, very critical time to take seriously the information that's coming out, but you don't need to absorb it 24/7. And what you do need is rest, just to show up and keep going, but also to stay well, to build your immune system, and to be there to support those who rely on your contribution. I hope that's been helpful. I'll see you tomorrow. I know it's the Saturday, pause sometimes on LinkedIn and elsewhere, but I will see you tomorrow for this stillness practice that I've found very, very helpful to me going back over the last year. And I've got one particularly reflecting on the time that we're in right now. So I hope to see you there, and I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.